All right, welcome to War Media pregame for Week 4's matchup between the Chicago Bears and the New York Giants. Both teams are 2-1 going into this weekend. I'm here with Joe Tanksley. I am Saul Rodriguez and Ryan Bukovetsky. How are we doing today, guys?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Not bad, not bad. How about you, Ryan?
Football Sunday can't be any worse, right?
Right? Oh
It's
yeah,
heaven until the Bears make it unheavenly. That's
yeah,
the
right.
standing
Hopefully,
order every week.
yeah. Hopefully, we can hit our parlays today.
Ooh, what we got, Joe? What we got?
Now, you know what? For the since football season started, I've been picking. I've been taking these like 15 leg parlays. What I'm saying one of them's got to hit on the 17-week season. So I'm just hoping to hit. What I'm saying one of these
Ooh,
15 game parlays. So we'll see what happens.
very quick story. I was March Madness. I think it was day two. No. Maybe it was like after the round of 32 where they're trying to get to the Sweet 16. I think
Mhm.
we had 18 games. We got 17 of the 18 parlay right. We
Oh
would have won like
wow.
10 grand if we got that last
Oh.
one.
Oh dang. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it came down, funny enough, it came down to the last game of the day,
oh,
too. It wasn't even
Oh
like we were
my.
all the way through to the last one.
oh man, it's gotta stink.
Hey,
Yes.
you just gotta keep trying those until you get it. So it's like
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
one, and then we'll
I
see.
gave
Maybe
it a
Never
one.
run.
know.
I gave it a
Yeah,
run
yeah.
for its money, boys. Gave it a run.
Right.
All right. So speaking of giving it a run, hopefully the Bears can give it a run against the Giants today. And I think a lot of it's gonna have to do with kind of the way that these two quarterbacks play, right? So and Matt Eberflus said something interesting during the week, said that both of these quarterbacks are a work in progress. And they're kind of similar in the way that their passing game is not necessarily where they probably wanted it to be, right? Especially Fields. But Daniel
Hmm.
Jones also runs the way that Justin Fields likes to run. So, what do you guys think that? What do you guys expect from these two quarterbacks in this matchup?
Hmm. Well, I will say that Justin Fields is in need of some confidence repair after last week's game when he came out and said it. He didn't want to say it, but he played like ass. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and and he's looks like he's having trouble, throwing the ball when he's supposed to throw the ball, and it's like he doesn't trust what he's seeing. And I think this is a week to improve upon it. And when you're starting at the bottom, it doesn't take much. So I think what I would like to see from Justin Fields is just some competency and some willingness to just trust the process, so to speak, and trust trust the offense and what he's seeing on the field, and throwing the ball on time. I think that he takes some unnecessary sacks by holding on to the ball too long, and it doesn't seem like he has a great feel for the pocket yet. So he really has to get the ball out on time. And so that's what I'm looking forward to seeing from Justin Fields this week and see if he can improve on that and just be competent and manage the game well. The Bears have been fortunate because they have one of the best running games in the league right now, and they've been leaning heavily on that. And this and quite frankly, if Eberflus doesn't play the games as conservative as he has been, uh, the Bears are a losing team right now. Right now, they're 2-1. On the flip side, with Daniel Jones, he's been in the league a little bit longer, and I think he is what he is. He has a new coach as well, and Brian Dabo, who was able to do some great things with Josh Allen. But Daniel Jones doesn't have the talent of Josh Allen, but he does have Saquon Barkley, and I think they've been doing the same thing. They've been relying heavily on the run game. I think on the flip side, the Bears do have the edge in the defense, and I think that their secondary matches up well with what the Giants, got going on with their leading receiver being out. So I think the Bears can take advantage of that, against the Giants and get to the quarterback and get to Daniel Jones and see if they can get some more turnovers or takeaways.
Yeah, confidence booster, Joe. That's exactly what they need out there. I mean, I think
Mm-hmm.
for all of us, we expect to see growing pains. We didn't expect to see
Yeah.
this kind of growing pains. And it looks like just flat out regression compared to last year with him. So that's really the alarming thing. I think
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us would feel much better even if he went out there, maybe had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but the numbers looked a little bit better. The aggressiveness, the eye test just looked a little bit better, even if there was plenty of mistakes to go along with
Mm.
it. So overall, I'm hoping that we're at least doing a shift towards that direction where we feel just, hey, it wasn't perfect, it wasn't great, but now we're starting to see some competency, like you said. We're starting to see some build
Mm.
up, maybe something that can be built upon, and maybe we can
Mm-hmm.
somewhat progress. And of course, like we know, progression isn't linear, so it's not like he's going to get
Right.
better week to week to week to week type thing. But right now, it's looking like he's getting worse week to week to week
Mm-hmm.
type thing. So we need to really turn this around. And
Yeah.
I
I mean,
think
what? Yeah. Go ahead. Finish. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. I think overall, if the game planning, the run game, all this stuff can kind of take care of itself, then maybe some of the special teams errors in the return game get resolved. There's going to be opportunities for him. So it's just, can they get him to pull the trigger, or can they maybe scheme something where he's seeing it better to want to pull the trigger?
Exactly, and I think one of the things that we thought the Bears would be good is moving the pocket and rolling him out and doing those naked boots and things. But teams have scouted that and they're playing to contain him, and that's an adjustment that I would like to see the offense make this week. He likes to come do that reverse rollout, and the guys are sitting right in his lap, in his face, and then when he rolls out to the strong side, they're just coming to the field and chasing them. So they got him scouted, and they're taking away the things that he likes to do and the things that he's good at. So it's time for Getsy and Fields to get together and make those adjustments so he can be more comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also kind of to the expectations that we have kind of leaked over to the betting world, man. As you guys, and it's kind of funny you guys talked about betting to begin with, because I saw that I got the notification last night saying that Fields has like the lowest uh passing yards over under, I think, in history or something like that, like you're in the betting era or whatever, because I think it's like 145 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so I was
Boy,
like,
with
man,
those numbers, you're expecting like a hurricane to be in New York and that he's playing through.
I know that's how I was like,
Right.
man, yeah. Oh, here he goes. So I got it. It's 148 and a half. But yeah, same. It's just bad. But
But here's the thing, though. I mean, we laugh at that, but that just talks about, what Ryan was saying earlier. He looks like he's getting worse because
mhm.
any NFL quarterback can roll out of the bed and throw for 150 yards,
For real.
and that's not something that he can do, so that he's proven that he can do this year,
Mhm.
and so we're looking for a glimmer of hope. So I think he has all the intangibles, of
Mhm.
being a good leader in the locker room. I think he has the moxie. Right now, it's just all mental. Right now, I think he has all
Mhm.
the capability of doing this. It's all mental. And I think it seems like he's in his head a little bit too much right now. And if we can get him to, I say we like I'm coaching him, but
We are, Joe. He's
like,
listening.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
right. But if they could get him, to, you know, you know, not think so much and react more, I think it'd be a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
maybe Velus Jones. Maybe he
Mhm.
comes in, provides a little spark. I think it's going to be more in the return game than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, new person that nobody's really seen before with a lot of
Mm.
speed. I'm seeing even some of those jet sweeps maybe going to Velus Jones instead of Equinemius St. Brown with that little bit more explosiveness. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe some of that stuff can open things up, because I will give him, I don't think he's getting a ton of help overall. He's getting a lot of help from the run game. I
Mm-hmm.
do think the pass blocking's better than maybe it's perceived to be, but it's not great. It's not
Mm-hmm.
fantastic or anything like that. It's better than what we thought, but that's not saying much.
Right.
And I would say the receivers, if anything, might be a little worse than we thought. And we already didn't think highly enough about the
Mm-hmm.
receivers. And Cole Kmet, we still got him on the milk carton somewhere. He's going to be found hopefully one day. but it's a combination of the run game's fantastic. There's not a lot of help in the pass game, and the quarterback cannot really execute in the pass game. They've got to rework this thing around where that run game is opening something up in the pass game, because right now it's not, and that's usually the exact opposite of what you're expecting. It should open things up, and maybe with that, they can start getting a few things going, because I'm with you, Joe. I think it's a lot mental. If he can get some real confidence, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing a 180, and not saying franchise quarterback or anything, but instead of roll out of bed with a pathetic ass 148, maybe we got a respectable roll out of bed with like over 200 yards passing, something actually realistic.
Exactly. And this would be the week to do it, because, you know, it's on tape. The Bears can run the ball. So, you know, if the Giants, you know, want to come with 8 in the box, there's going to be opportunities, you know, behind that, you know, to get the ball down the field. And so this is the game I'm looking for Justin Fields and Bugatti to execute that.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Wink Martindale, though, a little bit, because he's going to be disguising everything. And when my quarterback is not right here and he's got to read everything, that's the one thing that just really bothers me with this matchup. Otherwise, I would say this is a perfect get-right game.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think another thing, too, that I think going to come into play and is obviously going to be the run game, as you mentioned it before, Ryan. And I think that's probably where the Bears are going to either win or lose the game when it comes down to it. As much as we want to see Fields, get, as you say, trying to get back into his groove. Kind of with Herbert being in for Montgomery. What do you expect from the Bears side? And also, how do you expect the Bears to stop Saquon Barkley? I know Roquan Smith was, saying that it's going to be fun to play against a guy like him, a star like him.
I would say with, Khalil Herbert, coming in and stepping in and for David Montgomery, he's proven that he can do that. And I don't suspect to see any, fall off as far as Khalil Herbert, but I am interested in, what Tristan Ebner is able to do in spelling Khalil Herbert, because I think, it isn't that much of a drop off between David Montgomery and Herbert. I think, Montgomery is a better pass blocker and a better pass catcher, but Khalil Herbert does all those things just fine as well. So it'd be interesting to see with the expanded role that Tristan Ebner is going to have in spelling Herbert and what we is going to tell what we see from the run game. As far as what we see, on the other end from the Giants, Saquon Barkley is 100% healthy, and when he's 100% healthy, he's one of the most dynamic players in football. And and the Bears are going to have their handful in stopping them. This cover 2 type defense, doesn't lend itself to stopping the run very well. So it's very important, that Roquan Smith have a fantastic game. It's very important that, everybody stay in their gaps. It's very important that the safeties come up and replace, the way they're supposed to and get into those run fits the way they're supposed to, because Saquon Barkley can take it to the house at any given moment. And I expect to see some big, the Bears have been gassed in the run game, against Green Bay with Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. And I think we'll see some of that today. But if they don't bend, if they don't break, when they're able to get to Daniel Jones and get the ball out, I think we can, the Bears can mitigate some of that.
Yeah, this is going to be the battle of terrible run defenses here today. Both sides really struggling with it. I kind of mentioned with Wink Martindale, the DC for the Giants. I wonder if that's kind of his plan of attack for today, where I mentioned the disguising and everything like that. Part of what I would imagine the Bears' plan of attack to be is, hey, we can run on them, just like we did last week. Let's run on them. Let's not go too crazy trying to figure out Justin Fields and getting them going. Let's run on this team. And that's the obvious thing based on this matchup. I wonder if you're going to see a lot of different looks in obvious running situations to maybe try to confuse a young offensive line where maybe you're not supposed to reach on that guy. You're supposed to go up to the second level or type thing and try
Right.
to confuse them a little bit at that point of attack. And maybe just with confusion, that can be that 12th defender that really bothers the Bears run game. And just like I mentioned before, I don't feel good about this game if the Bears cannot run the ball extremely effectively. So if I'm the Giants, I'm selling out against the run. And if I'm the Bears, I think you're thinking similarly. I mean, maybe not selling out. You're like you mentioned, you're playing your cover two. It's not going to be this all of a sudden jailhouse blitzes every other down type thing. But I do think you're in a very similar opponent that you have like with your offense. Daniel Jones has no help really around him right now, and he lost one of his best receivers. That
Right.
offensive line is still trash. He does have Saquon Barkley, but if you can keep Daniel Jones in the pocket and force him to beat you, there are definitely opportunities to make a play on the football or just make a play on the quarterback. And in that
Right.
case, if they can, control the clock, and this is where it comes back to field position. Does Velus Jones really help out in the return game? Because their field position starting has been trash compared to their opponents
It
so
has
far this
been,
year.
and I think that's a key as well because Bayless Jones. I mean, we haven't seen him all season, but the kickers, the other teams, special teams units, are kicking the ball short. They don't want the touchback. They think they can stop the Bears behind the 25-yard line, and they have been. So, you know, maybe having Bayless Jones in there, change a little bit, some of that for them, because the Bears' starting field position has been horrendous. A lot of people, go back to last week when it's 36, but the Bears are on their own 14. But maybe if they're 30 or 35 or so, maybe that changes a little bit where you want to take a shot. You know what I'm saying? And so the kicking game and the return game is going to be very important, especially since we don't have a Kyra Santos this week as well. I don't
Right.
believe.
Yeah, I was just going to bring him up. Do
Mm-hmm.
you maybe be a little bit more aggressive on fourth and shorts in obvious field goal with knowing that you don't have your primary place kicker? You've got this guy. Like, does he get a short rope? Like, hey, if you make that first one, we'll let you go for the second one. Oh, you missed that first one? I don't know. Maybe we start going for
Right.
everything on fourth down type thing. I wonder if that even plays a factor into this because points could be at a premium all over again, depending on how this game goes with that passing game.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, you made a good segue into that one because I was gonna say, yeah, with the positives and with additions like Velus Jones coming in, to play today. There's also negatives. No Jalen Johnson with a quad injury, no Montgomery with a knee and ankle injury, and no Cairo Santos was out with personal. So hopefully the Bears are able to figure it out when it comes to that. I know Michael Badgley, I believe, is going to be the kicker today, so hopefully they're able to get it done with that. But that is all the time that we're going to have for War Media Bears pregame for week 4. Hopefully the Bears can come out with the win. For I am Saul Rodriguez, Joe Tanksley, Ryan Bukovetsky, and me and Joe will be here for the post game as well. So hopefully you guys join us for that. And hopefully everyone enjoys the game.
Peace.
See y'all later.